Oh yeah. Can't even begin to tell you guys how excited I am about this. And man, it better taste good, because if I got this excited and it's not good, I'll be mad. Those little pops, those lids popping down as the jars cool and seal. That's a great sound to hear. Anyway, what you're looking at here, this is a recipe that I got from my sister-in-law. She has a blog on the internet that she and my brother share. It's called Raising Seedlings in the Cold, and she's put a lot of recipes up there, and my brother put stuff up there about his garden and his hoop house and life in general. But anyway, I got this little recipe from them. This is a says it's a ham and beans soup. Now, from what I recall as a kid, ham and beans was, ham and beans. But this recipe actually calls for a whole lot more. It's got carrots, celery, onions, the whole gamut in there. So it's almost like a vegetable stew, just with chunks of ham and the pinto beans in there. It's also got quite a bit of spices in there. And anyway, hopefully this all works out. I've got 7 quarts here. You can see it's still boiling. It's 11:30 at night, so I gotta talk quiet because my wife's asleep, my daughter's asleep. But I was just so excited I couldn't help but stay up until it was done, until the canner had cooled off enough I could open it up and pull these out. You can see they're still boiling, so I've got it pulled out here sitting on the towel so it'll cool off overnight. But this has got for each quart jar, you put in a half cup of dry beans, pinto beans, chili beans, whatever you want to use, half cup of ham cubes, half cup of carrot, half cup of celery, a quarter cup of onion, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, and 1 chicken bouillon cube. And then you also put in 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, half teaspoon of chili powder, half teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Now, my assumption is that, a lot of that stuff is open to what your own tastes are, stuff like the mustard and the cumin and whatnot, but I threw it all in there for now just to see. But you can see, like on the bottom of this one, you can see a lot of that seasoning and stuff settled down there. But anyway, cool deal. Still boiling. That always makes me excited. And hearing lots of those tabs pop down, that definitely makes me excited. Number one thing to remember with this recipe, any recipe where you're canning up beans like this, is the beans are going to swell up. And so I actually left about 1 inch. I filled up the water about to where you see it boiling right now. I didn't go much higher than that, and you can see the jars are packed beyond that. You can still see the water levels there, but you can see the food is actually swelled up towards the top of the jar. So I maybe should have even left it just a hair less, but anyway. So you leave 1 inch of headspace, and then you're going to process it like normal for 10 minutes to get the jars to start to get the seal. So you let it vent steam for 10 minutes, and then you're going to pressure cook it at 10 to 15 psi for 60 minutes. So that's what I did here. It all looks great. The ham looks cooked. It's overcooked because what I actually used was already a cured cooked ham. I just went ahead and just bought a cooked ham and chopped it up into cubes. I don't know if you used a raw ham, if this 60-minute cook would still do. You'd have to read up on it and see how long it's got to be. But I mean, at 10 to 15 psi, I think you're well over 200 degrees. I don't know where you got to be for pork. I don't know offhand if it's got to be 220 or what. But anyway, I'm not real concerned about it. I'm just really looking forward to eating it. So hopefully by tomorrow for dinner time, I'd imagine by then they'll be done boiling. But I think tomorrow for dinner I might pop one of them open and see how it tastes and see. My wife says she's not a fan of ham and bean soup, but I might get her to be. But I just wanted to share this with you guys. I've got my recipe book here. I've also got a recipe for chili and a recipe for chicken soup. So I'm going to be working on those two in the next couple nights. As my wife and I, as we're getting busier and busier with, our daughter just turned 1 and we got another kid on the way. So between that and the honeybees and her fish keeping and everything else, we're really, really busy. So I'm hoping if we do these, start canning stuff up like this, it'll help us have some just quicker, faster meals, and we're not microwaving some pre-processed garbage. This is all good, wholesome food, and the great thing about it is, for this recipe, I grew the onions. I didn't technically grow these carrots, but I did have my own crop of carrots this year. I can certainly grow the beans. I'll grow the ham someday soon, I sure hope. So anyway, it always feels good to use up stuff that you've grown yourself and be able to do a little home canning like this. Just makes you feel a little bit better, feel like a little bit more of a human. So anyway, I'm going to cut it off. That's it for now. I'll put these ingredients and the directions down below the video as well. I probably didn't need to rattle them off and bore y'all to death like that, but anyway, I'll put them down below the video. Hope y'all enjoy it.